Gary Loomis couldn't find a fishing rod he was happy with, so he created a company to build the best one possible for himself. Before long, G. Loomis rods were some of the finest in the sport, and they were available to everyone. It all began with Gary's love of angling. A steelhead bum, he fished the rivers of Washington's Cascade Mountains frequently and studied the species exhaustively. After high school, Gary spent 4 years in the Navy as a machinist and the next 10 in a machine shop that manufactured equipment for lumber mills. In 1974, Gary began working for Loomis Rods. He was in charge of their rod blank production facility, and it was during his early years at Loomis that Loomis pioneered carbon fiber technology. Still totally absorbed with the notion of a perfect rod, it became clear to Gary that manufacturing his own blanks was a necessity. In 1982, G. Loomis opened its doors. The new company's production equipment was entirely designed and built by Gary. He continued to spearhead technological improvements and design advancements, including IMX and GLX, two materials with the lightness and sensitivity he had been seeking. When Gary succeeded in turning out a rod that met his own standards, he had created, in the process, one of the best fishing tools ever produced. By 1995, G. Loomis had become part of Shimano, and Gary Loomis knew it was time to give something back to his favorite fishing waters. That something was Fish First, a nonprofit organization dedicated to restoring dwindling salmon and steelhead runs to Washington's Lewis River system. With Loomis at the helm, Fish First has become a working model for river basin stewardship and has earned national recognition. Ensuring the future of the nation's migratory fishes remains paramount to Gary. It has been since 8th grade, when his class was given an assignment to write about what they'd wanted to be when they grew up. At that very young age, Gary chose fisheries as his future career because I like working outdoors and working with fish and trying to improve fish life. When asked to describe the responsibilities of his chosen vocation, Gary wrote, "One of the duties is preserving the wildlife of fish by planting fish where they're needed and will do the most good." Though more than 50 years have passed since those words were written, his passion for our native species and for recreational angling has not diminished. For that, the IGFA Fishing Hall of Fame recognizes Gary Loomis.